The Marine Corps talks a lot about both physical courage, but also moral courage. So moral courage is more important. It's this idea that you will do the right thing when no one's looking, the idea that you will sacrifice yourself, and not your integrity or your honor, but your position in order to make sure that the right thing gets done, even when it exposes you to ridicule. Moral courage isn't something that people talk about a lot in everyday life. I'll tell you one funny quick story. It just reminded me of, because we're talking about the basic school. You have to do gas chamber training where you put on a gas mask and you run into this concrete hut, which they fill with CS tear gas. Okay, and I was in the first wave to go through this, and they're teaching you how to wear the mask, how to clear the mask, so that you take the mask off and then learn how to clear it, just like you're scuba diving. It's a lot like that. And because I was either insufficiently attentive, but also because I was still getting acquainted with the gear, one of the valves was partway open. So you get these two like coin-sized valves on the side, where one side, depending on which side you hold your rifle on, you put the canister there that filters out the gas. So when I got in there, I cleared the mask and put it back on, but I was sucking in pure CS gas through this gaping hole in the front of my mask. And anyone who tells you that tear gas isn't lethal is full of shit. You can easily die from this stuff. And I ended up asphyxiating. Ugh. My entire throat closed off, and I passed out, and I slid down the wall. And I ended up getting carried out on the back of a fellow lieutenant. And so here you've got a whole company of Marines getting ready to go through, and I'm the first one out. And they lay me down on the ground, strip my mask off, and everyone at first thought it was a joke, that it was meant to just kind of like spook them. And then they saw that I was deep, deep purple, like blue, and not breathing. And one of the corporals, it was a sergeant, came over and literally was about to give me mouth to mouth and was sort of pushing my chest and so forth. And then I sprung up to my feet again. I mean, instantly, like, wild wake up. And apparently I turned from purple to blue to green, and like in front of everyone's faces. And a couple of lieutenants started puking. And the best part of the story is my commander, my platoon commander, is looking at me. I mean, I'm just a mess, right? I mean, I've been unconscious, and Captain Gaskell, who was my platoon commander, says, "Hey, do you know where you're going?" And I said, to the infirmary. He says, "No, you're going straight back in." And so I get my mask fixed, and then I go and do the whole thing again, and it worked out. But that was one of my
back on the horse, son.
I lost some IQ points that I never got back from that whole incident, unfortunately.